So I get up this morning. I've done my music and chat show. You know, I now do a music and chat show, okay? Monday to Friday at heartheswish.com. Click on Swish, 10 o'clock in the morning. Monday to Friday, a 1 hour music and chat show. It's lots of fun. Very, very fast moving, dear, this programme, okay? This music and chat show I do, very fast moving. Let me tell you about it. Let me tell you a little bit about that, actually. I play music that I would say is middle of the road. There's nothing that's going to go, bang, bang, bang. Oh, no, we can't. This is not a rave programme, dear. You don't need pills to listen to my... Well, perhaps you do, actually, to keep you sane. You don't need ecstasy or anything like that to listen to my music and chat show. It's nice and middle of the road, light-hearted, little bit of chat. And every day I sing you a song. Oh, you've got to hear that. Possibly the worst singing you've ever sung, but nevertheless I do it. Okay? Every morning we have a slow record, a little mirror ball moment. A moment where we can just put our feet up and close our eyes and relax and think of the partners that we should have had, and instead we've ended up with that old thing next door. You know? Okay. So if you want to listen to that, heartheswish.com and click on Swish, Monday to Friday between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. UK time. Now, just to warn you, we are about to put the clocks forward here in the UK. All right, remember that. We are about to put the clocks forward. Why we do all this, I don't know. It's a blooming pain. It really is. But be warned, we are about to put our clocks forward. So 10 till 11 o'clock in the morning, Monday to Friday, heartheswish.com, click on Swish. All right? Now, as I was saying, I got up this morning in time for my music and chat show. I get up at 9 in the morning now. And on the floor, the postman had always been... I don't understand the postman round here. I live in Bracknell in Royal Berkshire, and the postman seems to come any time between 8:30 and midday. It's not the same... I remember years ago when I was a child, the postman always came at roughly the same time, give or take 10 minutes either way. But now, they seem to just come when they feel like it. Sometimes I go days without any mail at all. Or perhaps there's no one sending me anything. How sad is that? Nothing for... Even the people that send bills don't bother anymore. What's all that about? They hate me. They all hate me. Anyway, so I got up this morning and I looked downstairs. One of the first things I do is I look downstairs to see if there are any little envelopes waiting for me on my doormat. And there it was, a leaflet. And the first thing I saw on this leaflet was free hips. That's all I saw. Free hips on this leaflet. I thought, well, that's a bit odd. You know, is this one of those medical companies like BUPA or Private Patients Plan who are offering free hips to anyone that takes out an insurance policy? And then I picked it up and I realised it was from an estate agent. Hips are something we have here in the UK now. Home information packs. Okay? When you sell a house here in the UK, you now have to have one of these before you sell it, and it gives the buyer certain information. And what, if you're not in the UK, let me tell you, they're up in arms about this. Estate agents, people aren't bothering to ask for them, so people are getting them done. But the buyers are actually not bothering to ask for them because they're not, you know, it's not really interested. So it's just a complete and total waste of money. Something that the government bought out a couple of years ago and has really been a bit of a waste of money. So that's what a HIP is. But I thought it was some sort of medical organisation offering free replacement hips to anyone who sort of signed up with them. Mad, isn't it? Anyway, welcome along. My name's Chris Reardon. This is United Kingdom Talk, 3 times a week recorded chat show and 1 time a week live chat show. The live chat show is on Mondays between 12 p.m. and 2 p.m. UK time, and you can find that by going to unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Top left-hand corner, click on the Listen Live button. And you can also now listen to the show in an audio stream. If anyone's got an internet radio, have you got an internet radio? Have you? And you want to listen to the chat show, the live chat show on internet radio, you can do so now. Drop me an email if you're not sure how to do this, and I'll give you the numbers to enter into your internet radio, because it may not be listed there yet as you know. It will actually be listed as United Kingdom Radio on your internet radio, but it may well not be on there yet because it's very new, that, okay? So if you want to enter that manually, you will need a string of numbers like 174. Send me an email and I will send you by return the string of numbers and the port number, okay? The email address of the show is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Now, I must tell you, I have already talked about this on the Music and Chat show. Last St. Patrick's Day, so that was last week, I had the most wonderful time at Belush's Bar for a karaoke night, because it was a Wednesday. Belush's Bar in Borough High Street in South East London. Now, years ago, I did do a disco for St. Patrick's night. I'm going back here about 20 years. And I swore after that I would never do another dedicated St. Patrick's Day disco. Because what happens is that half the crowd are screaming for normal music and the other half are screaming for Irish music. And it's a blooming nightmare. You cannot satisfy either side. And I swore after that incident about 20 years ago, it was, we didn't have any fights or anything like that. It was just impossible to please everyone. Completely impossible. And you'd play some new music, and the people that want the Irish music, who weren't necessarily Irish, okay, the people would come up and moan. Then you'd put the Irish music on, and the people that want the normal music would come up and moan, and it was just like that all night long. It was a little pub in Wandsworth in southwest London that I did. And I swore after that I would never ever again do a dedicated St. Patrick's night. I'll work in a bar or a club where I'm usually working on that particular night, that's fine. But to actually go somewhere where they've advertised St. Patrick's night music or something like that, I will never do that again, because it's just a complete and utter pain. It really is. However, at a karaoke night, different thing, okay? Because you can actually, it's wonderful, you can actually blame the people who are singing for not singing Irish music. And at Belush's, there were a couple of people. There was only two people out of all of them, because the crowd in Belush's in Borough High Street is very young. I love it in there. I absolutely love it in there. And there was only two people who came up throughout the night and says, it's St. Patrick's night, can we have some Irish music? I said, well, it's karaoke. I'm not choosing the songs. Blame them. And they're like, oh, and they walked off. You know, you can't do anything. So it's wonderful. You can actually blame the people who were singing the karaoke. I mean, I don't choose the songs of what people sing at karaoke nights. The people choose them, right? So this particular night, at the beginning of the night, for whatever reason, I actually arrived there half an hour earlier than I usually do on Wednesday, and it was quite busy already, so I thought, well, let's start up. And so I've set all my equipment up. I've got amplifiers and mixer, and I actually use the speakers that are already there, so I don't have to carry those around. And I fired up the computer, and that's fine, right? So I started the music playing on the computer and got the karaoke ready. It was all right for 2 minutes, and then I did something on it, and bang, it switched off. I thought, oh, that's strange. Never happened before. Never ever happened before to me, that. On a laptop, in a pub, 100 people waiting to do karaoke, but it's okay because I'm half an hour early, fortunately. So I thought, I wonder what happened there. So I wiggled the connections. You know, you might have had a loose wire or something like that. I checked the battery. that was almost fully charged, and the indicator what told me it was plugged in, that was all fine. I thought, strange. So fired it up again. Immediately I got that black screen that says, do you want to start 1, 2 and 3? Do you want to start Windows normally? I clicked that, off it went, loaded up, everything right. Okay, fired up the music program, started playing out the music, that was fine. Fired up the Firefox and the karaoke program, started working, and then bang, off it went again. I thought, oh no, is this going to be that day where you can't do your job because of equipment failure? And I've always dreaded this day. Always dreaded this day. I have been, over the years, extremely lucky. Now, I've been DJing since I was 18. So that's 18, 28, 38, 47. So it's 29 years I've been DJing. And more recently, over the last 6 or 7 years, been doing karaoke as well. And, of course, a little bit of bingo. But nowadays, I am totally reliant on my laptop to do my job. Whether it be the DJing, the bingo, or the bingay, or karaoke. I am reliant on my laptop to do all these jobs. Okay? For 29 years, I've never had a piece of equipment fail that stops me doing the job. Okay, I've had a light bulb go out maybe, or a cable go down, but there's usually a spare one of those in the car, you know. But the things I don't have spares of is, 1, a computer, 1, and 2, an amplifier. I have a spare mixer with me usually. So they're the only 2 things. And over the 29 years, as I say, I've been very lucky. I've never not been able to do a job because of equipment failure. And it's going through my mind now, oh my God, is this going to be the night? And of all nights, St. Patrick's night, a very, very busy night in the pub. I thought, oh no, surely. So fortunately, I had a clear head that night. And I thought, right, what could it be? And then it came to me straight away. I had done an update in the afternoon. It was a Windows update and a Real Player update on the computer. These are, for those of you not computer savvy, by an update, I mean the programs installed on computers often have updates come out, okay? And the idea is you go onto the internet, you get the update, it does whatever it does inside your computer, and away you go, you carry on. Well, I'd done 2 updates in the afternoon, so I thought, it's got to be, can't be anything else, it must be that. So I then rolled back the computer and kept my fingers crossed. Now, rolling back a computer is a fairly straightforward, easy task, but it's not quick. It can take a few minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes, 10 minutes, sometimes, depending on how much information that the computer's got to roll back and what it's got to do. So it's now 10 o'clock. All right, so I'm supposed to start at 10. I thought, right, well, you've got to say something. Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome along. It's karaoke tonight. We will get going in a few minutes' time. I'm just having a little bit of a technical issue, which I'm just sorting out now. Should be all right in about 10 minutes. Choose your songs and line them up, and I'll get you on as soon as we can. So I did that, and the computer is now rolling back. And those of you with computers, which I know is most of you, will know, while you're sitting there watching the screen, waiting for it to system restore, it just seems to be taking forever and a day. And actually, it's only a few minutes that are passing. But when you're in a situation, there's 100 people in front of you, you can see them looking over, wondering what's going on. And you're thinking, come on, come on. But you mustn't touch that computer while it's doing its rollback. Don't push the stop button thinking that you're going to make it go faster, because you will make it worse. You've got to let the computer finish doing what it's doing, even when sometimes it looks like it's stuck. It's not. For about 4 or 5 minutes, it was stuck on this screen that says system restoring, and it doesn't tell you anything else, but you've got to look at that. There's a little light which indicates the hard drive is going wrong. As long as that is flashing occasionally, the computer is actually doing something. You mustn't touch it while it's doing its restore. Anyway, as luck would have it, it went through the whole thing. It altogether must have taken about 15 minutes. And at 10:15, the computer suddenly burst back into life. I fired up and then of course it had to do the virus update. It started updating the virus thing, and this took another few minutes. Anyway, it was about 20 past 10 by which time I started. But guess what? Firefox wouldn't work after that. That's one of the browsers. Couldn't get that to load at all. So I think there's a bit of a confliction here between Firefox and Real Player. So I don't remember the last time I used Real Player on the laptop, so I've decided to completely uninstall that and possibly uninstall Firefox. I think that's got damaged somewhere, and reinstall it and everything should be hunky-dory. But I used Internet Explorer because all my karaoke system is all online, you see. There are no discs. There's nothing actually on the hard drive. It's an online karaoke thing. You can have a look at it yourself if you want. It's a marvellous thing. You can play it at home and anything. And it's not expensive. It's about £5 a month to be a member of this karaoke service. It's called singtotheworld.com. All right, once again, singtotheworld.com. Wonderful system they've got. I've been using them now for quite a number of years. And that actually program has done me well. It holds up very, very well indeed. So use the Internet Explorer, and away we went, and that was the end of the problem. So it must have been something to do with the update, and thank God for that. Oh, I was so worried it wasn't going to work. The night itself, fantastic. Very, very messy in there last night, with people falling all over the places, bottles being dropped on the floor. I love it. It's so rowdy in there. I love it. I love that job. I really do. So that was my St. Patrick's night. Did you do anything for St. Patrick's night celebrations? Do let us know on the email. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Have you had that with a computer? You've done an update and it's gone wrong, and you've done a rollback? It's a great way to get your computer back up and running if something's gone wrong after an update. And it's quite simple to do. All you do is you hit Start, bottom left-hand corner, Programs, okay, Accessories, System Tools, I think it is, and then you will see System Restore, and follow the instructions. What you want to do is roll it back to a date where you know it was last working perfectly. And you just follow it through, click on there, and then leave it. Good idea perhaps to go away, make a cup of tea. It will take 5, 10, 15 minutes sometimes, but it should bring you back into life again, okay? All right then, email time. Hello, Jennifer. Have just got to watching your show from Saturday, March the 13th, and I wanted to comment on the bra and pants in the kitchen. Yes, sir. Someone who will remain nameless, Jennifer, had been walking around in her kitchen in just bra and knickers. Terrible, dear. I had a peeping Tom growing up. And actually, now that I'm living back at my mother's home, the home I grew up in, I may still actually have that nasty peeping Tom. I remember one night sitting in my room. It was cool enough to have the windows open. I was sitting on my bed, and my cat lay next to me while I was doing my homework. I saw my cat. I saw my cat quickly turn her head to look out the window. As they do turn their heads quickly, like that. Suddenly turn her head like that. And lo and behold, was my neighbour across the street. I was petrified. I should think you were, my love. I was so scared I couldn't even scream. I ran outside and didn't see him. Why I ran outside, I don't know. What would I have done if I had seen him? God knows he could have raped or strangled me. I still see this pervert every day and I'm repulsed. Can't believe he did this to you, my darling. I know he knows I know it was him. I often wonder, since he's watched me grow up, how often he's seen me naked, and did he ever catch me kissing my Boy George posters? Your Boy George posters. What are you like, darling? I love the Culture Club in the 80s, but that's a whole nother story. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not nice, is it? You know, joking aside. I mean, how old were you then? Yeah, I would have said something to my parents, actually. That's not right. It's not right to look at young people in... It's sick, isn't it? It's sick. I would have had to said so. Didn't you tell your mum and dad at the time, darling? They should have sorted that out. It's not acceptable. Absolutely not acceptable. Jennifer says, hope your asthma tone's down. It has. Okay? The weather's warmed up here. The asthma's gone. So I do not believe that it's all to do with the cat. It's the weather as well. When the weather warms up, the asthma goes. Absolutely. I've had no puffer now for quite a few days. And it probably won't come back now in force until sort of November, December. And then it'll just suddenly start again. It's a pain, but there's nothing I can do about it. Is anyone else watching or listening to the show asthma affected by the cold weather? Do let us know on the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Jennifer says, I think you should bring Katie in to see if she does affect your asthma more. It's a joy having a cat in the house. Well, as I say, she is allowed in the kitchen, but not in the rest of the house. But you're quite right. It is a joy having a cat in the house. Especially when you get into bed. And when I was letting her in the house around January last year, she would wait for me to get into bed. She wouldn't be in the room. Okay, she'd be downstairs. I'd get into bed. I'd turn the light off, and within a couple of minutes, I could hear her little paws coming up the stairs, right? And then she'd get to the door. She'd meow, meow, just quiet meows. And if I didn't answer, she'd then jump onto the bed and come right up to my chest and just lay down. You are so right, Jennifer, and you're not the only one. It is an absolute joy to have a cat come into your bedroom, jump on your bed, and just lay next to you purring. It's just a wonderful thing. But there was an occasion where I had to call an ambulance out last year. My asthma got so bad one night, and I was scared. It was as bad as that. It was about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and he came. And after that, I kept the cat out. And yeah, the asthma does come back in cold weather, and it gets bad, but it appears to be controllable. And on this occasion, it wasn't controllable, and the cat had been in the room. So I think it's a combination of the both, really. And much that I'd love her to come in the house, I don't dare. Jennifer actually has 7 cats in the house, and her favourite is Nacho. I sent you a picture before of the way he sleeps with me. Yeah, thanks for that. I saw that picture. Anyway, hope you enjoy your day, and I'll be waiting for the next show. Thank you, Jennifer. Great to hear from you. You're very lucky to be able to have your cat in the house and sleeping next to you and all that. It's wonderful, that is. Wonderful. And keep your curtains closed. No more perverts looking at my Jennifer. Thank you very much. Hello to Vicky. She says, hello, I heard you read my emails on the show. Thank you very much. As I sit here writing, it's Saturday afternoon, a rainy day, and I'm enjoying a repeat of your shows on Swish. Yes, if you ever want to listen to the Swish radio shows I do, and you can't join us live, they do a listen again button type thing. Now, they don't do a podcast, all right? You cannot download the show, unfortunately. However, you can listen again at a computer, and that's very easy to do so. Just go to heartheswish.com, right? Click on Swish, and at the top you'll see Listen Again. And remember, I'm always on between Monday and Friday between 10 a.m. and 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. So that's the section you want to find, and you'll see my little smiling face there, okay? She says, I'll try and listen in live. She said, I'm already awake at 5 a.m., which is 10 a.m. your time. Yeah, I think it's a 5-hour difference, isn't it? I think that might change when we move forward an hour for summertime, which is just a couple of days away, I think. Glad to see you've now got a page on Swish. I like the songs you play and the music that you play while you're talking. Sometimes the music you play while you're talking sounds like old-time music. Is there a name for this? It's not all old. I would say the music I play is middle of the road. light-hearted, middle-of-the-road music. There's nothing heavy on there. But we do, don't we? We play anything from kind of Mystique, Scandalous, and then we might have the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. We might have a bit of ABBA. We might have a bit of Michael Jackson. So it's a very, very broad range of music. But it's all fairly light and middle of the road. There's nothing there that would like kick you in the face. You know, some of that music is just too heavy, isn't it? Thanks, Vicky. Oh, what's happened here? Oh, it's okay. Sorry, I've printed that email off twice. I've read that, haven't I? Yeah, we've read that one. All right. Hello to Mark. Mark's in Birmingham here in the UK, and he watched the show where we were talking about the dreadful programme on BBC One a couple of Fridays ago now, Your Country Needs You, where we chose our Eurovision tune. And Mark says, I have to say, that programme you were talking about did look truly awful. Looked like it had been done on a budget of 20 quid and a case of Carlsberg. You're just so right. This is what I say, it was one of the worst programmes I've ever seen on the BBC. Graham Norton lost it when his auto cue failed, and the look on Pete Waterman's face was, why the hell did I agree to do this? Yeah, you're right, you're right. The singers were lame and really looked although they just couldn't be bothered. The word effort was missing from everyone in the show. Well, yes, it was. These girls who were singing, and there were some girls, there were some boys, but the girls were just more interested than trying to look sexy for the camera. And it just didn't, they just ended up looking stupid. All this pouting and pushing their chests out and their bums out, trying to look sexy for the camera. They looked stupid. So thanks for that, Mark, for agreeing with me there. And Ian Black also writes in, the programme was pretty terrible and looked and sounded like a bunch of amateurs at a badly mixed karaoke night. That's 2 years running. The BBC seems to have chosen a format of one obvious winner, which was indeed the winner. Josh, who won the competition, clearly had the best voice out of all of them. One obvious winner and 5 fillers to make it seem like a kind of competition. Are people really so gullible? It's true. And he says, Chris, please check your old Sonia LP from 1989, as I'm sure this song was been done before. And that's from Ian Black. Well, Ian, probably not been done before, but the thing is, with all those Stock Aitken Waterman tunes, they all have the same beat and the general tune behind them, don't they? They absolutely do have the same tune behind them. One more from Mark here. Oh, and I think we're nearly out of time. He also says, just to say, of Mark in Birmingham, just to say, after the first 5 minutes of the show, I could no longer watch the show sober and had to down 3 bottles of wine in the next 85 minutes. In fact, by the time the result came around, I had lost the will to live. Oh, I mean, it's just, I mean, you would have done. You would have done. It's just awful, awful. And last email today comes from Pat Jim via YouTube. When I worked on a horse ranch, because we were talking about someone, I think it was Jennifer, who feeds cows. When I worked on a horse ranch, we fed the livestock hay and grain. They must do it differently in Florida. Oh, by the way, you wanted me to get a photo of an opossum. Unfortunately, I'm 56 years old. Too old to crawl under the house through a narrow crawl space to get a picture of an ill-tempered camera-shy marsupial with extremely sharp teeth. Watch out, it'll bite you. Heaven knows what else I may encounter down there. Probably people hiding or bodies. I like your show, but not so much that I'm willing to risk getting rabies for it. Sorry. Thank you, Pac Jim. There we are. That's all from the show today. As always, thanks very much for joining me. If you want to send us in an email, it's always a pleasure to read those. My email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. See you on the next show. Thanks for watching and listening. Bye-bye.